Down.
Nav Z1, complete on 1.
Okay.
Z1, go ahead.
Last from Mancuso, Mary Adam Nora, Charles Union Sam Ocean, versus Angelica, Adam Nora George, Edward Lincoln, out of Charles Adam.
353.
It'll be 92286, verbal female in Napa.
Secret, and they came primary.
So let's
Copy,
go
semi.
find guys. What's this guy running for?
First name is R-I-Y-O-N, Arion. Last name is Kelson, K-E-L-S-O-N. Birthday is July 21st, 2009. Can you look for any prior gun convictions or charges for him, please?
Okay.
So everyone's going to go try and look for this vehicle. Right now he wants all the information that he has. We'll just follow him on radar. Follow him on radar. Thank you, Rita, for that super sticker. Thank you, thank you. Bad Squirrel, thank you for a cool cat. Yeah.
Okay.
Subscribing. Thank you, thank you.
245. Or 323, 245.
Z1, Napa.
Z1.
Came up here, 225, 253.
630 valid. Negative probation. Negative ORs.
Control WR, copy, box.
Go ahead.
D3, showcasing. Good night,
Oh,
ma'am.
the streets of Bakersfield, baby. Get a little dance on, baby. Yeah.
Unit 0 411 Dale Drive. Female says multiple males were seen in back porch.
That's with the other girl. I got it.
Still two people walking inside right now.
She doesn't know the exact number.
12795. 12795.
Northwest District 72. Information broadcast. Reckless vehicle 86 in Georgetown. Southbound on Georgetown. Black Impala. License plate. Tom Paul George 839. Front and headlight out. Cutting vehicle.
Has the light broken up?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not.
Z1's report.
Another guy who barely speaks English trying to tell me where they're at. I'm not really sure.
Copy, code 4.
Sorry, guys. Mr. Mark, WRTC 1042 as well. Slow all of the cars down.
Clear, 2213.
Airplate is negative on a black Jeep Cherokee to Tommy Hellman 611 North Capitol. And Chad has decided that we're not the chosen one, so I only get it back in open Fox. I can email you it.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Welcome.
337 East Central.
For the first in shot for medics is the subject at 3874 Strathmore Drive.
Yeah. Both cars, 2213. Lutheran High School.
Okay.
Control 250, I'll be working over.
Clear.
East District 63, Vega 321, 1820, business alarm, 10105 East Washington.
3 to 1.
Both units, 24.
Control, can I get a call from X?
Tom Victor Paul, 77.
Attention downtown 11, Edward 328, Edward 328, no information accident, 802 North Meridian Street. iPhone crash notification, address from Villa mapping, no contact, made no answer, on call back times 2, 800 North, 100 West.
27
Clear.
for Ronald Allen Beckus
320.
Jr. American Indian,
42,
male,
2149.
eligible ID
Clear.
card only for
Edward 328, 2214.
subject does have
There's 329 337. Just information. They called request to cancel. You can go to any.
Perfect.
Stand by, we're pulling now.
The car can I'll put you on interstate. I'm not looking at anything over here.
Clear. 329. Trouble with people. US 31 and stop 13.
Attention units en route to the accident. No information for 802 North Meridian Street. Another call came in. Meridian and Sinclair. It's a black sedan versus a black sedan. Rear end collision. Airbags deployed. Unknown injuries blocking the middle of the intersection.
356. 60 and break.
329 Thompson Kitchen. Both cars, 2216. Information is from Adam 401 stating that there are spinners and such in the area.
Control 333. Could you back me to that 81 mark? Disregard the other cars, and I will grab one of these other cars in just a minute when we wrap up.
Attention officers en route to the accident, no information. On North Meridian, it's North Meridian and St. Clair Street. It's a gray car versus black car. Black car hit the silver car head-on collision. Female was having chest pain. EMS is en route.
The alarm was disregarded.
354.
Never mind, thank you.
Stand by for state. Go ahead.
You're welcome.
He's confirmed a negative. No prior convictions, anything gun related.
I'm clear, thank you.
1831, David 356.
Go ahead.
Charles 356.
Go ahead.
One of the records from this company is actually at the gate. Did you guys request them to move a car from there?
Is there a female officer available for a search?
Yeah, fine.
10-4, we'll look.
Powerful again.
Female officer 5375 East South Fort Myers.
Spring 332, I attempt to call back supplies, no answer.
Thank you.
We will make America
healthy
again.
Business Warrant 9976 East Washington.
We will make America
329, I'm
strong again.
Southport, Mass, and I can go 356 if you want to go to that.
Control 630, pick it up after one row.
We will make America.
That's fine. I'm not quite sure. It sounds like the same area that Middle Ships was on, right up until 10 o'clock. So I'm not sure what their conclusion was with all those cars.
Middle
Ships observed no illegal activity. They were just sitting in the parking lots with their lights under their cars and boggling engines.
Thanks.
365, what's your
We're
5
gonna
back on 2?
have a crime scene hostage by 3949 down. We have a victim
Fight for you, and I am also only
Okay.
asking you for
I'm
one
pretty sure I've got you
thing.
back on the
Vote. Get out
350.
and vote.
Thanks, ma'am.
42, does she have any location services on her? 329, so let's know when you get here. We'll be in the office. We'll get you.
Okay.
Control 356, I'm going to be switching over to all three.
Third available unit to go to St. Clair and Meridian for an
Engine
PD accident.
52, an AMR. Respond to sick person at
You can use that for
30900, Southwest Parkway Avenue. Unit 213.
You say North
Cross
3?
streets are Southwest Memorial Drive and Southwest Wilson Lane.
This. Everybody, take a look at this.
Yeah, that's right here.
52, Adam 227, Adam 253,
Unit, firemen corresponding for 6 person at 36 East Hartman Street, Napa, 1920.
Supervisor, son's having a mental health crisis, having outbursts.
Attention units, code 3 paramedical en route to 3618 Hartman Street, Napa, 1920.
373,
252, Millersville, PJ.
You can do a call back.
Something.
Put back 02, 28, 42 in the room.
320.
Like on the MR258, responding to the call, Northway.
Thompson's there. He's trying to look at you. He's going to come around if you can let him in the gate.
Argon copy, thank you, 1921.
238, what's the voicemail?
No tax on tips, so we get
2434.
here.
Oh, where?
I was in
2434.
Las Vegas 2 weeks ago. I said,
Control, are you monitoring this channel?
but also no tax. Think of it on overtime. You do a lot of
321.
overtime, and that's a big deal. And for those of you who are seniors, now I wouldn't know about that.
And this
I'm not a
crash, we're
senior.
going to need
Michael, am
2
I?
tows. One for a
No.
Kia sedan
I'll be a
with
senior,
a
what,
bunch
another
of
10
damage.
years, 15?
One for a Mazda sedan with
No,
heavy front end
look,
damage.
for the seniors, think of it. You've been destroyed.
When
on
you
fixed
see if a
incomes
rep
with
will
inflation.
respond, I have
They have
audio
destroyed
alarm,
Attention all units,
no
copy
sound,
over.
full
They
speed.
spent.
4741 Archer.
I don't think so. I guess 401's
Sister
in
gives
low.
a text
Thank you, ma'am.
Engine 52, MR258, code 3 on a sick person.
UI9 and
Care
UI
of
14,
boy,
UI9, UI 14 for trouble with a person, 3850 South State
213.
at the Key
Patient,
Stadium.
83-year-old male who's conscious, having
Yeah,
difficulty
okay.
breathing, having frequent urination,
2221.
and pain when
Hey,
urinating.
white female, blonde ponytail, white
Difficulty breathing, not due to
long
pain,
sleeve
also having
shirt,
difficulty
black
speaking.
backpack, black
No further.
pants.
D6 63, Baker 327, Baker 85, assistant person, Blue Spring Court, and Blue Spring Drive.
Littering, acting strange, standing in the parking lot at End State. And the caller is an employee at the school.
237-364.
West Hall Boulevard and
Cautious
Southwest
information, we
Freeway.
were just advised B&B is down
The
and
Beaver's
it's
Tail
going to continue to be
Slam
down
warns
for a
every
while,
other
but now they
resident
have
of
no
the park.
PA. Southeast 24, Charles Lee 25 327, trouble with the person, 2440 Dawson Street.
327. Keep that right.
337. Sit tight. 358. We'll pick that up in a minute.
1818 Charles Lee 25 2222. There was a white male in all camo, ran into the complainant's house, but he's southbound in the alley.
353.
353, go ahead.
353.
Go ahead.
If it wasn't requested yet, I need a wagon for adult female.
Clear.
353. I'm already back on.
Worker in Las Vegas and Reno is this: if you vote for me, inflation will end, your taxes will go. They say, how the hell do you get that?
We're going to have to switch down here in a little bit.
Sure, on the app showing she's somewhere in the neighborhood, but it's not giving the exact location.
Tax deductible. Because affording a car is essential to restoring the American dream. We're going to restore the American dream. To bring jobs and factories and wealth racing back to the United States, we will have a 15% made in America corporate tax rate.
24, 327, and 721, Culver House, 4304, Villa Avenue.
Those who make their product.
Can you mark myself and every Washington unit 10-8 and 1042, please?
To 21, everyone said that was impossible. That led to a job boom, the biggest boom we've ever had in this country, and the numbers were great. Now,
24, Blaine said help emails can stop responding. Address on the map. There are 21 calls to this phone number since September 1st asking for help. They never located a single time.
Manufacture if you make your product in the U.S. How good is that? Right, Michael? You have to make it here. You know, I had one of the top Wall Street guys call me. They said, who the hell gave you that idea? How simple is that?
333.
You've never heard anything like that. If you make your product here, you get a lower tax. You don't hear it. It seems so simple, like the paperclip. Some guy made the paperclip a long time ago, and everybody looked and said, why the hell didn't I think of that, right? And for those who don't make their product in America, they'll be forced to pay a stiff tariff for the privilege of competing with our cherished companies that we are going to protect because they're stealing our jobs, our treasure, our wealth, and we will take in hundreds of billions of dollars to benefit American citizens and pay. We are going to pay off debt. We're going to reduce your taxes still further. As an individual, we're going to reduce them, and we will be at a level of prosperity, it's called growth, that we haven't seen in 60 years. You're going to have a 1929 style depression. And remember, you know the hat, it says Trump was right about everything. I really was right about it. I was right about it.
Control 356.
You're going to have a 1929 style, not recession, depression. My pro-American trade policies are one of the major reasons why I've been overwhelmingly endorsed by the rank-and-file membership of the Teamsters, including 60% of the Teamster members in Nevada. Can you believe that, huh? Where are the Teamsters? Do we have any Teamsters? Are you guys? Where are the Teamsters? Thank you. They're good people. Traditionally, they go Democrat, but we got all over the nation they endorse Trump, along with the police, along with the firefighters, along with everybody. Along with anybody that's sane, we got to, don't forget we're the party of common sense. We really are. You need a wall. You need good elections. You need a fair press. You need a lot of good things. You need a lot of good things, and we're going to have very good things. And you don't need criminals coming into your country.
Southeast 92, Charles.
So as we rebuild our economy, we will also restore our borders. And I've just come from Aurora. I just left Aurora, Colorado, where the person that was in charge of your border, we call her border czar, Kamala, she doesn't know she's alive, I'm telling you. She was so bad. Did you see 60 Minutes? So I've done 60 Minutes many times. I even had the great Mike Wallace say, it was actually a great one. Mike Wallace, the toughest of the ball. He gave me a great one. But she was interviewed. Her answers were so bad that they put other answers in. They don't do that for me. We're just the opposite. Her answers, they take it away and put new answers in. My answers, they just cut them up. So that instead of 4 sentences that are perfect, it's one sentence that proceeds back, and all of a sudden, I used to say to him, why did you cut the hell out of my paragraph? I do the weave, right? Always a weave, right? And always end up in the right location. But I said, why did you do that 60 minutes? And remember I had with Leslie Saul a big fight. Because she said, the laptop from hell came from Russia. And I said, Leslie, it came from the bedroom of Hunter Biden. It didn't come. And then I proved to be right, and I'm still waiting for them to apologize. But I'll tell you, what they did with her, I believe, is the biggest scandal in broadcast history. I do. If that were me right now, I probably wouldn't be allowed to speak. They'd have me tied up someplace like, sir, would you come this way, please? And when you think about it, I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone, right? He was a killer. If he didn't like you, he would immediately kill you. I've had more investigations. These are corrupt people that we're dealing with. But what happens is this. What CBS did and 60 Minutes did, think of it. Her answers were terrible because she's only, and I say it very respectfully.
Yeah, on the eastbound side of SKD, it's 5,100 people.
And we've had 4 years of that, and we can't have another 4 years because Russia and China and everybody, they're eating our lunch. We can't have another 4 years. So I don't get it. I don't get it. And oh, by the way, we're leading in all the polls.
344, Frank 330, call 6408.
We're leading, so we're leading, but we have to make it too big to rig, right? Too big to rig. We're leading by some pretty good margins too. Michigan, we're leading. The car industry. Those auto workers love Trump because we'll be ending that electric mandate very quickly. And we love electric cars. But, we want them for some people and some people not. We want gasoline propelled. We want hybrids, which are good. The only one we don't want, the one we don't want? There's a certain car. Hydrogen car. They have a new car. The problem is it doesn't go bad often, and it's quite efficient. But when it blows up, you're unrecognizable. Is that my husband on the tree?
8205 Madison Avenue.
Let me take a look. I can't tell. I can't tell.
Car accident. Both drivers split the scene.
No, I don't want that one. I'm not going to do that one. They say they think they can fix it. The word think is not acceptable. We think we can. So we'll forget about hydrogen, right? But we have a lot of alternatives. And, we got the endorsement of Elon Musk. And he said it's absolutely imperative we're going to save our country. I have to win. He gave me the strongest. He's a great guy, and he makes some great things. He helped us so much with North Carolina and Georgia. He said to Starlink they had no communication whatsoever in some of And they said, "Sir, do you know Elon Musk?" I said, "I do." Do you think you could get a Starlink? I said, "What the hell is that?" Explain to me. But essentially, it's an unbelievable form of So I called up, hard to get because it's very successful. I called him up. I said, North Carolina in particular is in big trouble. It's almost been cut off from the mainland, and they have no communication. All their lines are down. This was a terrible thing. And the government's done very little. The federal government's done nothing. She's done nothing. She was like she's doing interviews on these public shows, and she's got to get there because they really have problems. But he said, well, I'll tell you, and we talked for about a second, and then I get a message from the people in North Carolina. We want to thank you that the Starlink will be coming soon. I said, Elon, how did you do that? We're talking. You agreed to do it, and now I get a call before we hang up that they expect it to be delivered.
Lots of shots.
No, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. Saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives in North Carolina. He helped the governor of Georgia. Georgia governor's doing a very good job, but they helped the governor of Georgia with the Starlink a lot. And he was there. I'll tell you, he was there, so he's good. He's our friend, right? Right? Kamala Harris has imported a savage Venezuelan prison gang. Other than that, they're fine people. Known as Tren de Aragua. Did you ever hear them? Tren de Aragua. But don't smile because they'll knock that smile off your face. They're not nice people. That has taken over an entire apartment complex. They are like me. They're in the real estate business. The difference is I do it with financing. They do it with weapons that we've never even seen before. Where do they get these weapons? And is terrorizing the residents at a level never seen. They literally walk in and tell them, get the hell out of your apartment. They took over complexes. And they have a radical left
Parking lot. Some of them are residents, some are not. Have caused issues in the past.
They're breaking down doors. They're collecting the rent. Isn't it nice? They just come over from Venezuela. They are collecting the rent. You think? And you know what the landlord said? Whatever you'd like, sir. You'd like to collect my rent, whatever you want. No, they are actually going around collecting the rent from now on. Let me tell you, if I were president now, those guys would be out of here before you left this room. Send them back. We're sending them back. But they're shooting people. They're smashing jaws, breaking skulls. Watch this video. You're not going to believe it.
Downtown 21, Edward.
Open borders, deadly consequences.
Border crisis. Record high crossings are putting a strain on cities across America.
It is a full-blown invasion.
Armed Venezuelan gang members storming an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado.
When people talk about migrant crime, this is what they're talking about. Biden and Harris had created a program to bring them in under humanitarian parole.
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been released into the United States.
My 20-year-old daughter, Kayla Hamilton, was murdered in her own room. Kayla's murderer was apprehended by Border Patrol crossing illegally into the U.S.
Kayla's murderer had been improperly released into the United States.
Abolish ICE. Yeah, we should probably think about starting from scratch.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
More than a dozen people suspected of being Tren de Aragua gang members right here in San Antonio.
The gang members have been terrorizing the apartment complex.
New details in the murder of Lincoln Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national.
And was paroled and released into the country by the Biden administration.
Two men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder and the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
Court documents suggest a group of men arrested for beating and robbing a Dallas woman last month are members of a Venezuelan street gang.
Manuel Hernandez was booked by Colleyville police just 2 days earlier and released the day before the robbery.
These are our new citizens. These are the new people. These are the people that we have coming into our country, and we're now known as, and all throughout the world, as an occupied country. We're an occupied country. Can you believe it? And you know, they have a lot of people. If you think about it, 21 million, not including the gotaways. You know what a gotaway is? Those are the people that just run and nobody knows who the hell they are. But we have 21. Think of this. 21 million people, 13,000 murderers, to be exact, 13,099 murderers. The biggest drug lords in the world. They got them all out of Caracas, Venezuela. Do you know that Venezuelan crime went down 72%? Because they put all their criminals into the good old USA. We're not going to stand for it. We're an occupied state that refuses to let our great law enforcement professionals do the job that they so dearly want to do. You know, the law enforcement wants to do the job. They really want to do the job, and they're not allowed to do the job. They want to do it so badly, they're so good, but they don't want to lose their pension. They don't want to be fired and lose everything, lose their family, lose their house. But to everyone here in Nevada and all across our nation, I make this vow to you. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. Liberation Day.
Here.
13,
41, 15,
Is there?
Looking at 36, at the bus stop, watching my red hoodie, teaching me to making big trips as well.
Southwest 72, David 338, David 343, David 338, David 343. Over check of a person, 936 West County Line Road, the Speedway gas station.
My teleprompter people doing a great job. Thank God I don't use teleprompters too much.
All the lights are on, and then
These people. They do a great job. No, I said, I look at the teleprompter's totally gone. I said, what the hell happened? The sign fell on top of it. But I can level with you. Did you see her? Now, here's the good thing. Isn't it nice to have a guy that doesn't need a teleprompter? Isn't it nice? A president. A potential president that doesn't need a teleprompter. When you use a teleprompter, it gets very boring when you use one. But how about her? It was 32 days left, and her teleprompter. You know, a teleprompter goes bad a lot. If you rely on a teleprompter, in other words, if you're like Biden, where he couldn't function without a he couldn't function with a teleprompter. But if you need a teleprompter, like to do like she did, it was just announced. Did you see the picture? She did a town hall using a teleprompter. You can't do that. No, think of it. You're walking around. There's no teleprompter. She's reading a teleprompter. It's following. Oh, it's terrible. You can't have her as your president. You can't have her as your president. But did you see where she was 32? It was 32 days, so she's going. And I'm watching her. I said, what the hell is wrong with her? She goes 32 and the teleprompter went out. She meant 32 days to the election. So she goes 32, 32, 32, 32, 32. I said, what the hell is wrong with her? I called the First Lady. I said, First Lady, what the hell is wrong with her? 32. And then, thank goodness for her, the teleprompter kicked back in. But usually it doesn't kick back in. Usually it doesn't. It's, you know, you got to be out there. I mean, I would say 5% of the time, if you want to do this professionally, like if you want to run for president someday, no matter how good you run, because I have a guy, Gabe. I've had some real bad ones, but I have Gabe. Some of the bad ones, they go so fast. You know, okay, I will go and pop, 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 pop. I say, slow it down. No, a good one is really like gold, right? But I don't use it that much because I find it's boring. The concept I use, but I don't like it. But if you want to run for president, you have to assume that 5% of the time, even if you have good people, you're not going to have a teleprompter. For instance, when you do outdoors, I was with Bernie Moreno. He's doing very well for the Senate. And I think he's going to win in Ohio. He's got a chance. And I'm way up. And I went out, and I didn't want to do it because I said the weather's too bad, but that's okay. I did it. We had 45-mile-an-hour winds. This is in Ohio. That's like, you know, I thought we were in Scotland, actually. 290. And the teleprompters were bending because they're not and that didn't matter because within about 2 minutes they blew off the stage. Actually blew off. And we had 50,000 people. I'm standing there like this. I didn't have any notes, nothing. And you know what? He won the election. Thank you very much, President. And other than a few people that saw the things flying away, they flew away beautifully. Nobody even knew. So anyway, no, there's something wrong with her. When you can't get up and make a speech like normally, like with all the work we do, you know, you think you could for 40 minutes. Well, she makes very short speeches too. Do you ever notice her like 10 minutes? It's, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you. My name is.
Go north from the bridge from Rumpley. They came north out of the Noodle Lot.
And she, you know, she'll speak like so routinely. So, and I hate the word. You know, they had word salad. The words. I don't like the sound of it, but it's sort of true. You know, she just like they're just words you put together. They don't mean anything. How the hell can we have a person like this to be our president? It's crazy. But I will round up the illegal alien gang members and they will be put in jail or thrown out of our country until not a single one is left. And we're going to call it Operation Aurora, if you don't mind, okay? Because they were the first. And this is happening all over the country, by the way. If they come back, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. Because we don't want them to come back. They got to stay out.
Clear, you want me to go ahead and close it
And
out?
I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer.
Sorry, I apologize. I thought yeah, you can close it out.
Baker 338, Baker 337, and 2241. Male is 69 years old, possibly overdosing, behaving erratically, being aggressive. Caller's not giving much detail. You must stay there.
Frank 356X and PD 3360 West Newsdale Street.
Thank you very much. No, we have to do that. We have to do it. They're violent people. These are violent. Remember when Kamala said, people that come into our country are far less likely to commit a crime. Really? The fact is, they make our criminals look like very fine people. And that includes our murderers. They are very fine people. These people make us look like a bunch of babies, okay? And we're getting them the hell out of our country. They're destroying our country. They're ruining lives. We're getting them out. Kamala's open border policy will destroy Medicare and Social Security for seniors because they're stuffing them there. They're putting them everywhere, but they're stuffing them in. She let in 21 million people and wants to make them all citizens. She wants to make them citizens. Because there's no way of telling. They have no records, they have no anything. They let them in totally unvetted. Everyone's coming in, the murderers and whoever. She wants to have them come in and then they can loot, they can plunder, they can take everything that you've made in your life. They can destroy your lives, they can kill you, they can hurt you. She wants to make them all citizens. It's crazy.
There is a 100-year-old female.
Remember, we're the party of common sense, and you know that doesn't work. A new study released this week found that if Kamala gets her way, illegal aliens will drain Medicare and Social Security to the tune of $2 trillion. In other words, they'll be useless, they'll be worthless. You won't get your Social Security, but she'll kill her. And she has no idea, economically, with finance, she has no idea what the hell she's talking about. They asked her a simple question. When they asked her the other question, that was a disaster because she said, yes, I'll change a lot of things from Biden. And then she gets in trouble because he hates her so much. And she said, what do you mean you'll change? So now they're fighting. So she doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's angry. Her people want her to say, she'll have nothing to do with Biden because he's a disaster. And then she wants to say that she's okay. But Biden doesn't want that. So so they go back and forth. This poor woman doesn't know what the hell is happening. I will protect Medicare and Social Security with no cuts. We're not going to have any cuts. And we're not going to raise the age. She's going to raise the age by 7 years on Social Security. We're going to have no cuts whatsoever, and we didn't have any, and there'll be no benefits for illegals, by the way. Already, Kamala is ransacking Medicare to pay for the Green New Scam. Do you know what the Green New Scam was? She actually wants $93 trillion.
There was no time delay.
That's bigger than our budget.
2239 was the first call. She said that they had just ran at that point.
AOC plus
You're going to get into a vehicle or anything like that.
Remember, they were on foot 320.
We should. Did you go to college on the environment? No. Do you have anything to do? This is AOC, right? Do you have anything to do with the environment? No, no. But I've decided that this is the way it is. All buildings in New York are going to be ripped down and new buildings are going to be built without windows.
Bill keeps repeating, you know where I am, advising them to their hands on him. He's refusing to answer questions, disconnected, 200 South, 11050.
The gases and the sunlight. The ideal building is tall, thin, with no windows
advising they have cameras at 302 South
It's a
Lindhurst too. If
hard
somebody wants to go
sell.
look at those.
If you can get somebody to buy it, you can sell anything. That's the only thing. No, they have the craziest thing I've ever. But the total cost is $93 trillion. So if you add us, China, every other country in the world, and gave us about 40 years, we might be able. These people are crazy. They're destroying our country. They use it almost as a method of hurting us and hurting our country. And some countries laugh at it. You know, China laughs at it.
I didn't copy your
Kerry
plate.
goes over there on his private jet, lands, meets with President Xi. We don't want you to use coal anymore. Oh, okay, we'll work on that. We're going to start working on it. In the meantime, he's building a coal plant a week. Oh, we'll work on that. Kerry goes, he promised he'd work on it. He promised. What a fool. No, it's so embarrassing. You know, these people are very streetwise. They're brilliant people, and they're at the top of their game. We have a man that 30 years ago wasn't at the top of the game, and she's worse. I'm telling you, she's not as smart as Biden. Watch. And you see it now, and she's fading rapidly in the polls. The only reason she was okay is because nobody knew who the hell she was.
I'm working on it. I have to run
They
all
said
the
Harris. Who the hell is that? Nobody knew who she was. And now they're learning that she's a communist. We're learning that all sorts of bad things about her. She's further left than Pocahontas. Do you know Pocahontas? Remember when they wanted me to apologize to Pocahontas? I said, I'll do it because I destroyed her presidential campaign. She was leading for president, and then she said she was an Indian.
Can you start for 5552
Why are you
Rue
an
Royale?
Indian? Because my mother told me I had high cheekbones. This was...
360, you want to come over here?
You can't get in trouble when you're telling the truth. That was why, that was her reason. And then when I heard that, I said, oh, let's call her Pocahontas.
I couldn't copy why the medic was needed. There was too much background.
But we drove her crazy, and then she fell for it. She went out and did a test, remember? And it came back 1,024. In other words, somewhere in a million years, there may have been one guy there. And she was so happy. Remember, she was so happy that she released the finding. She thought it was good because maybe there was a tiny little chance. And then I said, well, I have more Indian blood than she has, and I have none, unfortunately. I'd like to have some. No, I'd like to have some. I would be very honored. But I have none. But I think I have more than she has. And that was the end of her political career. She likes me very much. But Pocahontas. Because of the Medicare cuts, Kamala passed with her tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Creation Act. Did you ever hear of the... I changed the name. I take a little, much less liberty than 60 Minutes takes, by the way. They would take the whole damn thing out and write it for her. No, it's called the Inflation Reduction Act. Right? And I thought, you're right.
At 20185.
The Inflation Reduction Act, and I call it the Inflation Creation Act. So that's not nearly as bad as 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes just took everything out. They say, listen, we put her on. She gave us this answer. If people hear this answer, she will immediately be thrown off. I mean, it's so bad. So why don't we just give her a new answer? So they took it out and gave her an entirely new answer. If I ever did that, or if that were ever about like a Republican, it would be the biggest scandal in history. I think it's going to be anyway. 60 Minutes should be taken off the air for what they've done.
English and German 2348, you want another class?
It should be taken off the air, and you know what else, John? They should lose their license, because that's not just a little bad stuff. You know, they have licenses, these networks have they're worth billions of dollars, but the one thing is it says you have to be honest. That's election interference. They're interfering with the election, am I right? They should lose their license, and 60 Minutes should be taken off the air. Because of a vote, 560,000 seniors are set to lose their Medicare Advantage plans. Did you know that? Oh, did I ruin your evening? No, it's going to happen in the next few weeks. Because of her vote, 560,000 seniors will lose their plan. In other words, Kamala is shafting fixed income seniors on Medicare to fund $7,500 tax credits for rich people to buy luxury electric cars. You know, we're subsidizing this whole crazy thing. They don't go A lot of gasoline is down there. I will stand up for our seniors, and I will say that Medicare Advantage. So seniors, you must vote for Trump, or you're going to have a very unhappy rest of your life. But you got to get out and vote. You know, I learned the other day, I was saddened by it, because I have the endorsement of the NRA. I have all the, I have everybody endorsed me. So, but here I was saddened by this. Evangelicals, where I'm like at 90%, but they typically don't vote very much. In other words, they vote like 15, 20%. If the evangelicals would vote, we would win in a landslide. So evangelicals, you got a lot of them here. Please vote. The other ones, There are two groups, especially, meaning they vote very, very disproportionately. The other group, you know who doesn't vote? Gun owners. Gun owners. They don't vote. This has been true for 50 years. I think it's a rebellious thing, okay? It's rebellion. They're having a rebellion. Gun owners, get out and vote. Evangelicals, get out and vote. Or you're going to have somebody in office that's going to destroy your country.
They're asking what is in reference.
You also need to defeat your disastrous radical Democrat Senator Jackie Rosen and elect a great patriot to defend your Washington values and your values in Reno. Although, I don't know, Reno, can I talk about great values in Reno? Yeah, I think I can. I'm not sure if everybody's going to believe that one, but I believe it. I know a lot of great people from Reno. We have values and all different values. And you have great values here. Jackie Rosen is a disaster. She votes virtually 100% of the time. Originally, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you ever heard of him? Remember Rush Limbaugh? Rush Limbaugh, he'd be talking about, we'd go, Barack, he'd like falling asleep, Barack Hussein Obama.
Hi, George 4, go ahead.
Barack Hussein Obama. We miss Rush, right? But we've got Sean Hannity, and we've got Laura, we've got Jesse. We've got Gutfeld. How do you like Gutfeld? I did his show. You know, I did his show, and he had the highest rating last week, 2 weeks ago. I did his show. He had the highest rating in the history of his show, and he won the entire week in television. How about that? Is that? No, he's good. You know, he used to hate me. He used to hate me. He used to hate Trump. And then after about a year, I used to say, that guy really doesn't like me much. He's a great guy and very talented guy. But he hated me. Oh, it was terrible. And saying bad things. And then after about a year, I noticed it was a change. He said, you know, I don't love this guy, but he does everything. I mean, everything he says, he gets it done. Like, he defeated ISIS in record time. He said he was going to do that. He gave you the largest tax cuts in history, and he said he was going to do it. He got it passed in Congress. He gave you the largest regulation cuts, and he goes through this list. I didn't even know I did that much. But he said, you know, I'm starting to like him, actually. He said, would you rather have a guy that you really like but he gets nothing done, or a guy that you can't stand and everything gets done that's good for the country? I built hundreds of miles of wall. I built hundreds, 571 miles of wall. I was going to add to it, much more than I said I was going to build. He said he built the wall. Now, I will say this, I was going to add 200 miles more. I didn't promise to do that, but I thought it would be good.
I don't believe at this
and
time I would enough.
When they came in, they sold a lot of that for 5 cents.
Engine 1791, Charles 830, Trouble People, 3709 East Washington.
I think they want open borders. But Gutfeld was great. So anyway, he had these great ratings. And now he really likes me a lot because he says, he does everything he says he's going to do. And I say I'm going to do more than anybody else says they're going to do because I'm a worker and I know how to get things done. So
Engine 11's requesting PD for a bunch of drunk people.
So I would like you, if you would, because he's a spectacular man, and I'll be honest with you. Stan, would you stand up, please? There is nobody that has ever run for the Senate that has given up so much. He's given up so much. He's a great war hero. And he took a big hit. Big hit. He took a hit like nobody takes. And if they took a hit like that, most people wouldn't be around, and other people would just wouldn't know what to do. This guy, and he's got the greatest wife and family you've ever seen. And nobody has given up so much as Sam. And Sam, I want you to win so badly, and you know that. And he has my full endorsement and all of that stuff. But he's a great guy. And he's doing very well. He's against an unpopular person that has no respect in Washington. So let's see what happens. But here's my total and complete, as I say, endorsement. Thank you, Sam, very much. Thank you for being here. We're also pleased to be joined as well by Senator John Cornyn of Texas. John, please. 2434. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I think John agrees with me on Sam, what Sam has done and what he's given up, and he's a big hero. He really is a big hero. Another great one is Wesley Hunt of Texas. Stand up, Wesley. Wesley's fantastic. He's a great guy. Mark Amadai of right here, right around here. Come on, Mark. Where is Mark? Thank you, Mark. Good. Good job. He's a warrior. And a great football player and a great congressman. I used to watch him on the great Sean Hannity. Does anybody know Sean Hannity? You're right now on Sean Hannity because we're live on Sean Hannity. And he's great. He's great. He's one of the most successful guys in show business, and you wouldn't know it. He's a modest guy, but he's got some mouthpiece, so I got to tell you. He's modest, but those lips move. But we have some really good people, but Sean Hannity is great. And that whole group, Jesse, has been great. Pete Hexet, Rachel. They have a lot of good people. And then they have a few that I can't stand up with. And I think it hurts them badly if you want to know the truth. But they have some really, really good ones.
Respond
it's an
to
honor.
breathing problem.
Who?
At 1143 Parkside
Tucker's
Avenue.
great.
Cross Street to Winstream
Tucker's
Street
great.
in Larkin
And speaking
Place.
of Tucker, because he liked this guy, how did we like J.D. Vance the other night? Right?
Right? 1001 North Providence Drive.
J.D. Vance was unbelievable the other night. So,
Portland
Burgess
Road.
Owens, please stand up. Great football player, great man, great friend of mine. He's been my friend from the beginning. Even before the beginning. He was saying, I hope Trump runs. You know him? No, I don't know him, but I think he'd do a very good job. And so he was there before the beginning. And the Nevada GOP chair, we have a man who works his ass off, right? Michael McDonald. Stand up, Michael. So are we going to win, Mike? We're going to win? He's the Nevada chair, and he's working hard. We're 6 points up. Did you know that? But I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, Michael. Always I say assume that you're 1 point down, right? Assume you're 1 point down. In 4 incredible years under the Trump administration, we achieved more than any administration in the history of our country. We passed record tax cuts, biggest tax cuts in our history. They want to end them, and that would raise your taxes at levels that nobody's ever seen before. You know, you have one thing in those tax cuts that I hope people appreciate. The estate tax for small businesses, farms, and other things, it's non-existent. You are leaving your farm or your small business to your children, and they had to go out and borrow money to pay the tax, and they'd oftentimes lose it and be depressed for the rest of their lives and worse. And I got that out. You don't have any estate. When they end this, that comes back. And that's, you know, I only tell you that to the people that love their children, because if you don't love your children, it's not really worth that much to do. Is there anybody in the room who does not love their children? I've only had, like, I've said that about 10 times. I've only had one person raise that. And I thought he was kidding, and he actually wasn't kidding. But that's a big deal. Think of that. You have no estate tax. You leave your farm now, and they can operate the farm. And, you know, because a lot of farmers, they have great value. They have, but they don't necessarily have a lot of cash. A lot of businesses, they have a value. They're valuable businesses, but no cash. They couldn't pay. They go out, they borrow, and all of a sudden they end up losing it. That won't happen. But if they end our tax cut, you know, that's part of it. So it's to me, it's a very important part. Record tax cuts, record regulation cuts, more than any other administration in history, and we achieved an all-time low unemployment rates, record low poverty rates, and rising wages for everyone at the highest level ever. We had the most successful country in the history of our history. We never had, and probably in the history of the world, we had never had a period of time like that. And we had, remember this, we also had the best border. Remember that famous, remember the graph that I like more than any graph ever. Because I wouldn't be here. Do you have that graph by any chance? Put it up. I love this piece of beautiful paper.
2301, and this is secondhand information.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You see the line on the bottom? That's the lowest point. That was my last day in office. That was the lowest we ever were on illegal immigration. That includes drugs and a lot of other things too, by the way. But look at that. And then it exploded like a rocket ship. Look what happened to it. And now it's worse than ever. But what a beautiful, even if that red line wasn't there, if it was 2 inches to the right, I'd still say what a beautiful piece of paper. Because if I didn't turn to the right to look at that beautiful piece of paper, I wouldn't be talking to you tonight, you know?
Southeast 11, Charles 330, 1791, suspicious person, 1033,
Beautiful.
Washington.
Yeah, I just realized, I just went like this. Yeah, that's what I did. I went like that. We ended the NAFTA disaster, canceled the TPP, which would have been a disaster for your state, withdrew from the ridiculous, one-sided Paris Climate Accord, and stood up to China. We stood up to China like never before, bringing in tens of billions of dollars when no other president got 10 cents from China.
There's a white male, heavy set, striped jacket, gray hoodie and jeans.
They never
He's
got.
following a white female.
I put on
She's wearing
taxes and
burgundy.
tariffs.
He
I took in
navy blue
billions,
top.
hundreds of billions of dollars from China. It never happened before. And don't let that baby bother you, because it doesn't bother me.
1803, and then
it's
for in a
that
minute,
beautiful.
disturbance with a weapon,
Where is
2037
that
Shelby
guy?
Street. We have the Spanish caller. He's waiting at Brainerd Submarine. Address is from Baylor. The address from Rapid is 2041 Shelby Street. The group of people is chasing the caller, following him, threatening him with a gun. Caller is running from the group of people. Caller states that they have stolen, waiting in a white Ford truck.
That's a good-looking baby. Don't worry about it, Mom. It doesn't bother me. You know what it means? Happy, youthful, beautiful baby, perfect baby. Thank you. We had the most secure border in U.S. history, fully rebuilt the U.S. military, and created a thing called Space Force. That hasn't been done. Remember that. That hasn't been done since Air Force 82 years ago. We obliterated ISIS, and with the Abraham Accords, we made peace in the Middle East, but Biden didn't follow it up. They don't follow anything up. I'm proud to be the first president in decades to have started no new wars. I finished wars.
Southwest Allen Boulevard and Southwest Orange Lane. Working Channel Lots 35.
And I also gave you $35 insulin, which Biden and Kamala are trying to take. You know, I was the one that did it. And, you know, it's interesting because I did it, but it doesn't kick in for like 2 or 3 years by statute. And when it kicked in, I said, you know, I better win this thing, because otherwise whoever the hell is president, they're going to take credit for $35 insulin. No, I did it. I did it. But those 4 wonderful years of peace and prosperity have been followed by 4 years of misery and failure under the worst president and vice president in American history by far. It's true. It's true. In fact, Jimmy Carter's the happiest man today. You know, he's almost 100, I guess. He's celebrating. He's very close to 100.
Same location
And he is now happy because he goes down as a brilliant president by comparison to Biden. He didn't have a border like this. He didn't have the problems that we have. We're going to end up in third world war with this guy. We're going to end up in a third world nuclear war because of this guy, because he doesn't have a clue what the hell he's doing. And she is worse. Remember I said it. She is worse than him. She's not as smart as him, and he's not smart at all. But here are the facts. Kamala Harris is a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than Bernie Sanders. She was an original creator of defund the police movement. Anybody else involved in defund the police, even for a day, let alone years, is not worthy of being president of the United States. We cherish our police. Kamala Harris vowed to abolish. She vowed to abolish ICE. You know, ICE, these are great patriots. They also have to be tough people. They take MS-13 gang members out. They deposit them back in their country where they came from.
For the new accident PD or the old one?
I mean, I have some tough friends in the front row. They don't want to be member. Would you like to be a member?
This information. I'll try running them, but I might not get a return. DMV's been funny.
Killers and swing it out for about 2 hours and then stand up and say, let's get them out of here. You wouldn't. Tough guys don't want any part of it. They're tough and they're smart. But you know what? They love our country, and they do an incredible job.
Her
And she
comment
wants
that
to. She wants to get rid of them. She wants to get rid of ICE. It's not going to happen. She wants to ban fracking, as you know. She wants to ban anything having to do with fossil fuel. She imposed the natural gas export ban and is now shutting down power plants and destroying our electric grid with her crazy green new scam regulations. Energy prices are already up this year 50%. In Nevada, under Kamala, they're going higher. They're going to be maybe double within a year from now. She lost everything just the way it is. This is to me the worst. She lost 325,000 migrant children.
Can you confirm his address?
No, but you can't understand. Think of it, 325,000 children are missing. Most of them are dead, in my opinion. But, and they might, she said all of them, they might be all. They're either sex slaves, dead, or just missing. But many of them are dead. And she said they want to keep it just like the Think of that in relation to wars and everything. There's never been anything like that. They're innocent kids. Their parents will never see them again, most likely, most of them. And she has the 13,000 illegal alien convicted murderers roaming free in our country. Free to kill again. As California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as totally non-violent crimes. No, she's radical left. She just moved a little bit toward MAGA when she realized she wasn't getting any votes. In fact, we're going to send her a MAGA hat, I think, tonight. And she pledged to confiscate your guns and endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership. She sponsored a bill to oppose a 100% ban on gas-powered automobiles. Can you imagine that? You have to give up your automobile. Darling, I really want to drive to Washington, but I don't want to make 7 stops. She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention. At taxpayer expense, one of the most expensive operations, by the way. That's the least of the problems. And perhaps, most revealing of all, she lied about
we're clear for that one. I just got one.
How simple is that?
Someone else wanted to get
No, she said everything that she... I worked hard at McDonald's for a long time. I worked over the French fry bin. You know what I'm doing next week? I'm going to a McDonald's to work. Because if I work there for 10 minutes, I will have worked there longer than her.
1822, status checking your traffic copy generator. Copy engine 67 arrived to a 2-story apartment building. Nothing showing. Will be investigated.
You know, in many ways, I don't like that because it's so basic. You know, it's just. But there's something beautiful about it. She said she worked at McDonald's meeting. I worked so hard. She worked at McDonald's. It turned out to be a lie. She's a liar. That's why I call her lion. That's why I call her lion. I had her as comrade. Okay, here's another poll. Who likes comrade? Or who likes line? Let's do comrade first. Who likes comrade? Comrade, Kamala.
Sitting on the curb by the cylinder, and the male was standing after fence in the parking lot of Verizon House, and then he walked to the right from that location, but she's not sure if they left.
I guess that's the end of that one. But when you vote this November, and I did 3 of them. I did a little one, a little tiny one with a smoke. I did a really big one. I did a big one. And I did this one. And I'm still raring to go. They say, how the hell do you get there? How do you get there?
The name is going to be the Moon Mazda and a red, I think.
How do you get that energy? But I love doing it. You know why? Because I see it. We're
334, 357, 2311. Baby mama threatened to kill herself. She split her wrist and taken meds to harm herself.
Because we don't have a choice. If we don't win this election, no fire,
it's unknown if she has any weapons at the time.
That could be possible. Look at Venezuela. Look at so many places. You know, it sounds far-fetched. It's not at all. Look at what's happened. What's happened to our country in 3.5 years. We have to get out.
Yeah,
We have to
there
win
is
this
no
election.
ventilation.
But with your vote this November, we are going to defeat these radical left country destroyers, and we are going to finish what we so brilliantly started. We had it going so good. On day one, I will close the border. I will stop the invasion of illegals into our country. And we will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of the United States. We have no choice. The illegal migrants coming into our country are taking the jobs of American citizens. But you know what they're really taking? The jobs of black and Hispanic workers. They're taking the jobs. Black community, Hispanic community is being decimated by what's happening. They're coming in and they're taking the jobs. And you know what's going to be next? Unions are going to become. They're going to be next. They're going to take a lot of union jobs away. They're going to take jobs away. Period. But the black community, you saw the bad numbers last week. They were terrible. You know what? Because they're hiring people, when you had a job for years, and now all of a sudden somebody else is taking the job, and it's also affecting the Hispanic people. And
Suite 150 front door for the business alarm.
Men, I love black men. I love them. I love them. I have gone through the roof with black men.
Smith and Wesson FD40 serial number.
I don't do quite as
Henry
well with
William
black women,
X-ray
I must say.
9943.
I don't know why, but I'm sure that'll work out too. But it's I do appreciate it. I do. And we're doing unbelievably with Hispanic population. Incredible. We will quickly become energy independent as we were before and make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. We will frack, 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 and drill, baby, drill. Get our prices.
Started yesterday.
And we will terminate the insane mandate demanding that you have to have
disconnected. They didn't have any further, and they want to remain anonymous
within a very short period of time. That goes for trucks and everything else. You know, the truckers, it doesn't work. The battery is so heavy. You know that a battery for a truck is so heavy that you'd have to rebuild every bridge in America because they can't handle the weight. That doesn't affect these people. The other thing is you have 6 stops between New York and Los Angeles. With diesel, you have none and can even come back 10%.
Actually, 345, are you okay overnight?
Think of it. And it takes up a lot of payload. But think about it. It's much heavier. The battery's very heavy, right? Very, very heavy. You would have to rebuild every bridge in America because it's not designed for that kind of a load. Can you
District 42, reckless vehicle, Emerson Avenue and Washington Street, and I'll call it Black Subaru with 2 bright light bars on the front of the bumper. It's blinding the driver. She's afraid it's going to hurt other people's eyes. Last seen going east on Lexington. One north at 5100
29,000. How big are they? 18-wheelers? Is that what it is? The big ones are 18-wheelers. They said, you must be
going to walk over there.
Said, I'll tell you what, they're going to try and make me poor.
Meet me at the
Schumacher
Maryland entrance at Victory Field. I'll walk over and meet with her.
I've been buying trucks for 50 years.
320, I don't see anything going on in the back of Hardin either.
More efficient, stronger, bigger, better looking. And now we even build beautiful, they call them an apartment.
Yeah, I think our anonymous textures on some shenanigans. There's no way there'd be that many shots. Nobody else would call.
And they are beautiful.
Yeah.
Sir, honestly,
West Street,
you'd be
324 Charles Victor Edward.
East District 14, Baker 346, Baker 325, disturbance, 947 North Parker.
Special vehicle 2738 South Fleming.
Do you need no?
346.
We're at Cowboy Hat behind the building, black shirt. Guys, he's
Both units 2215, info from neighbor, group of 3 to 4 males outside arguing.
No, she was very nice. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend it. It's very simple. Now, go buy it. It's great. It's number one bestseller. I will stop outsourcing and turn the U.S. into a manufacturing superpower. Working with Elon Musk, we will slash a record amount of government waste. He's good at that. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to be a secretary. He doesn't need it. He's got rocket ships all over the place. He's a wild man, I'll tell you. But you know what he wants to do? He said, I can cut costs, trillions of dollars, and nobody will be even affected. And our country will be back in great shape. Between that and charging countries that come in and plunder and steal, we'll have a country that's a machine. We're going to make a beautiful machine, and then we're going to take all that money and pay off debt and help people that are not in good shape and sick and old and tired. But he wants to do that. He doesn't want anything. He doesn't want a title. He just wants to say, look, there's so much waste and abuse and fraud. Fraud, waste, and abuse, right?
I just had a caller
levels
call
that
back
you
from
wouldn't
that
even
same
believe.
apartment
You know, when I
complex.
cut the price of Air
1125
Force
Shady
One,
Terrace, and she
bought
says
it.
that there are bullet holes in
Sir,
the
it
door
will
of
be
her home.
$5.8 billion. I said, nope, I'm not doing it. I was supposed to walk in and sign it because I said, who negotiated the contract? They said, Barack Hussein. I said, well, that's too high.
1125 Shady Terrace.
I said, why do you say that, sir? Because he didn't
of a white compass that almost patient had a seizure, but they're not awake, not breathing at this time.
plate.
Could be a female driver. Any information at that 28?
$1.7 billion.
Domestic.
I said, because they ultimately cut it down to $3 billion, 999 million, 99999 and 99 cents. 1 penny. I said, it's got to have a 3 in front. Just had a 5 and it's 5.7. So I said, let me ask you a question. So if I didn't come along, you would have made 1.7, same exact plan, right? Except I had a much better paycheck.
Shots fired. 4105 Downs Drive.
It was red, white, and
4200
blue.
North, 9700 East.
Wasn't baby blue, it was blue. Not that little baby blue.
Baker 353, Baker 322, 23 1 shot, bullet is still on scene, car station, 1 shot, her back and front window out, no injuries. Attention DAFCON closed, Edward 321, Edward 327, Edward 321, Edward 327. Possible fight.
If I didn't come along,
500 West Washington Street, White River State Park parking garage. There's a group of people fighting in the stairwell and no weapons, EMS staging, no further. 1 south, 600 west.
You would have made 1.7 billion. He said, well, yeah, we have, of course, you know. The answer is they would have made 1.7 billion. So Elon's actually,
she doesn't know when, but
she
she
shouldn't make that
stopped
kind
her
of
car off
money.
to get work done.
But I got him down 1.7 billion dollars. It took about 2 months of not returning phone calls. I will end the war in Ukraine, stop the chaos in the Middle East, and prevent World War III. I will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect they so dearly, look, you know that, they dearly deserve it. We're going to give our police their respect back. They want to do the job. No, but think of that, with all the criminals that are being put in all over the world. This is not just south of well, but it's all over the world. Crime is down all over the world. Prison populations are down all over the world. They're delivering in...
I will take things on answering.
325.
Southeast 51, other 2 cars closed for a suspicious person. 8650 Bison Lake Circle.
Suspect Samuel Gallardo.
Go ahead. 310 from South River.
Can you confirm the address of our victim? It just doesn't look like there's anything going on with 1125.
0753. 336.
Yeah, I'm clear 328. Are you asking me to do that? I'm on the phone with her right now.
Apologies.
329 and 356 at 2320. There's a male banging on the door.
Respond to
and looking at the windows. Caller doesn't have any further.
4641 Southeast Dollarwood Street. Cross streets are Southeast Cottonwood Avenue and Southeast Ironwood Avenue.
10-4, yeah, that's who they advised has the keys.
21.
Copy also was advised that Xavier's little brother plays on
324, now he doesn't want to speak with officers.
Yeah, that's who they advised that he was on the field taking photos with them.
David.
Your warfare!
Bullshit! You didn't convince me! Let me see your real war face! You will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death, praying for war. But until that day, you are huge. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grab-asking pieces of amphibian shit.
Abracadabra, these bitches know I got answers the way I...
It looks to me like the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and ended up as the brown stain on the mattress.
Engine 61. Respond to Manitoba at 13425 Northwest Farms Road. Unit Cross Streets are Northwest Rock Springs Terrace and Northwest Boston Road.
1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps.
Yeah, it's 2352. They're requesting
It may not be politically correct, but we won 2 world wars.
54?
We won 2 beautiful, big, ugly wars. And
you can disregard the record for the
and
moment.
we are in a woke mode. Look, I defeated ISIS in a matter of weeks. It was supposed to take years. And those people did it. And I had great generals, not the guys you see on television that don't know what the hell they're doing. And they are woke. But the military, you could take these military guys that we have and put them into a woke cage. They call it a woke cage. Scream at them for 2 years about wokeism. And they come out and they want to beat your ass. We have very tough, smart, great military. We have to take care of our military, though. We gave billions and billions of dollars of it to Afghanistan, to the Taliban. You know, we didn't have one soldier killed in 18 months. They were going along killing our soldiers. And I made a phone call, and the fake news, that's a lot of fake news back there, look. The fake news.
Engine A13.
That's a lot. That's a lot of cameras. It's amazing when I watch and I see those red lights. You know when the red lights are on. And sometimes I'll point to them, and as soon as I start pointing, those lights go off so fast. We will lead the world in space and reach Mars before the end of my term, and we will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And I will support universal school choice, very important. And we will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend the Second Amendment, protect religious liberty, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections. Under the Trump administration, we will put American citizens first, American children first, American patients first. You cannot get into a hospital, by the way, because the migrants have all of the beds. You cannot get into a hospital. You cannot get your kids into a school because they're migrants that don't even speak the language. It's unbelievable. They're giving because.
Copy 2Z4 tonight.
Attention cars, information on a vehicle that's rolling insurance, collecting area, 10,000 Penalty Pike, heading westbound Penalty Pike, on the trip is the white truck from Ohio
Communists and Marxists and fascists last week, way down
male driver, a female, arguing
they will always be last. We will defend our territory. We will not be conquered. They're trying to conquer us. These guys are walking in with guns that are more sophisticated than our military has. They have no money. They come in from different parts of the world, and they have better guns than we have. There's something going on, but I'll get to it very quickly. It's going to end. It's going to end unpleasantly for them. We will reclaim our sovereignty, and I will give you back your freedom, your life, and your country.